What kind of wound? You answer me, damn you. What's your wound? You tell me, or I will kill you.
I was in a coma for a month and finally woke up. Dying of thirst, I struggled to get up from the bed. Then I rushed into the bathroom and gulped down water straight from the tap. When I walked out of the hospital room, I found the hospital had become a total wreck. The walls were covered with bullet holes and bloodstains. It looked like there had been one hell of a fight here. I stumbled to the end of the hallway. I saw a big warning written on the metal door. Don't open, no matter what. Suddenly the metal door started shaking, and I could hear these blood-curdling growls coming from inside. I took a closer look and saw this inhuman claw reaching out from inside. My eyes were filled with fear and panic. I got the hell out of there as fast as I could, but the moment I walked out of the hospital, the scene outside made me feel even more hopeless. Countless bodies were dumped right at the hospital entrance, but I had no clue what the hell had happened. I quickly grabbed a bicycle and headed home. When I got home, I found my wife and son were nowhere to be found. I shouted my wife and kids' names at the top of my lungs, but got no response whatsoever. I broke down, squatted on the ground, and started crying. I felt like I was living through a nightmare. I kept slapping my forehead trying to wake myself up, but the sharp pain told me this wasn't a dream. Then I sat at the doorway completely lost and devastated. Having lost my family, I felt like I had nothing left to live for. That's when I saw a figure appear on the street. I raised my hand and gave them a friendly wave. I had no idea there was another figure coming up behind me. Then I got knocked to the ground by a shovel. The boy yelled for his father to come quick. I looked toward the boy and saw a black man with a gun taking down that thing from before. Then he quickly came over to me. He asked me what was up with the bandages on my body. I was scared stiff and passed out right there. When I woke up again, I found myself tied to a bed. He even thoughtfully checked my wounds. Then he asked me seriously where the injuries came from. I answered honestly. I only remembered getting shot by a criminal during a mission. After that, I had no idea what happened. After learning it was a gunshot wound, he untied me. During dinner, he told me his name was Morgan. The one next to him was his son. After finding out I was a cop, Morgan got serious, but I was really confused. Why did we have to kill that person today? Morgan told me they weren't people. That was a walker. Then he told me about everything that happened a month ago. He said a walker virus broke out in town. If you get bitten or scratched by a walker, you turn into a bloodthirsty walker yourself. No wonder they freaked out when they saw I was injured. I looked at him in total disbelief. Suddenly, a car alarm went off outside. We rushed over to check. Turns out a walker accidentally bumped into a car, setting off the alarm. Right then, the kid spotted a familiar figure among the walkers. He turned around and rushed to his bed, hugging his pillow and crying. I looked through the peephole and saw the figure was moving toward the door. Turns out this walker was the kid's mother, and also Morgan's permanent guilt and helplessness he could never shake off, because he watched his wife turn into a walker right before his eyes, and there was nothing he could do about it. I fell into deep thought too. I didn't know if my own wife had been infected by walkers. The next day, Morgan took me outside to teach me how to deal with walkers. First, you can't think of them as people. Second, you have to destroy the brain to kill them completely. Third, try not to make too much noise to avoid attracting more walkers. Then we went to my house. Once I calmed down, I noticed a lot of everyday items from the house had been taken. Even all the family photo albums were gone. I figured my wife and kid might still be alive. Morgan told me. Not long ago, he heard on the radio that the military was calling survivors to Atlanta. Supposedly, they'd set up a refugee center there and were working on a cure for the walker virus. Maybe my wife and kid had gone there. This gave me new hope. I grabbed a key from the cabinet. Then, I took Morgan to the police station's armory. We took all the usable weapons and ammo. After leaving the police station, I suggested Morgan come with me to Atlanta, but Morgan refused. After a simple handshake goodbye, we went our separate ways. On my way to Atlanta, I kept using the radio to contact nearby survivors. Sure enough, in the nearby mountains, someone picked up the signal, and my good buddy Shane and my wife and kid were among them. But before we could talk, the signal cut out. In my wife's mind, I had already died in the hospital. Heartbroken, she accepted Shane's love, but she never imagined I would miraculously survive. When my police car ran out of gas, I had to continue on foot with my weapons. When I passed by a ranch, I was lucky enough to find a horse, and so I rode the horse and kept heading toward Atlanta. I don't know how long it took, but I finally made it to Atlanta. But the streets here were eerily quiet. until I got to downtown. That's when I found a few scattered walkers. There were signs the military had been stationed here. Obviously, we'd lost control in the end. Suddenly, I heard the sound of a helicopter. I looked up and saw the helicopter's direction through the reflection off a building, so I quickly rode the horse in that direction, chasing after it. Just as I was chasing the helicopter full of hope, the scene around the corner scared the living daylights out of me.